Ghost Rider, inactive. Real name, Demon, Zarathos. Human, John Johnny Blaze. Occupation, Demon, former emissary of Mephisto. Human, Stunt Rider. Identity, publicly known but generally disbelieved. Legal status, Demon, none. Human, American citizen with no criminal record. Former aliases, none. Place of birth, Demon, unknown. Human, Waukegan, Illinois. Place of separation, Holly, Illinois. Group affiliation, former member of The Champions. Known relatives, Barton, father, deceased. Clara, mother, deceased. Craig Crash Simpson, stepfather, deceased. Mona Simpson, stepmother, deceased. First appearance, Marvel Spotlight number 5. Final appearance, Ghost Rider number 81. History. Zarathos was a demon whose origin is lost in prehistory. See, demons. Who at some point in his existence was turned to stone and imprisoned beneath the earth somewhere in the southwestern portion of North America. About 2,000 years ago, an unnamed tribe of Native Americans was persuaded by its ambitious medicine man, Kinutu, to seek out the demon and restore him to life. Reluctantly, the tribe accompanied Kinutu to the site where ancient scrolls revealed Zarathos to be entombed, and watched fearfully as the wizard recited the incantation to revive the demon. Kinutu encouraged the demon's appetite for destroying souls, and after assuming leadership of the tribe, he led the demon to feed on the souls of rival tribes. Thus, Kinutu established himself an empire based on the cult of the demon Zarathos. Soon, however, the demon's soul-devouring activities attracted the attention of the Lord of Demons, Mephisto. See, Mephisto, who also trafficked in human souls. Mephisto chose a human agent, a prince in a rival tribe being threatened by the demon, and took his soul so that Zarathos' attack on him would be ineffective. His followers' belief in Zarathos shattered, Mephisto materialized and used his vast demonic power to dispatch Zarathos back to his cold stone body and steal the living flame that is the demon's soul. Since Zarathos was too powerful to use as a mere lackey, Mephisto amused himself over the centuries by placing the essence of Zarathos in a human host. In that form, Mephisto employed him to claim souls. The identities of these hosts for Zarathos throughout the ages are still unknown. Zarathos lay dormant for an untold period of time before he was given a new host in the late 20th century, the young stunt rider Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze was the son of stunt motorcyclist Barton Blaze, the top attraction at Crash Simpson's Daredevil Cycle Show. The elder Blaze was killed performing a dangerous stunt, and Johnny, now an orphan since his mother, Clara, died soon after his birth, was adopted by Crash Simpson and his wife, Mona. At first frightened of motorcycles, Blaze soon conquered his fear and became an accomplished amateur motorcyclist. When his stepmother Mona was fatally wounded trying to rescue Blaze from a cycle crash, she made him swear that he would not join her husband's show. Blaze practiced stunt riding on his own and became romantically involved with his stepsister, Roxanne Simpson. Blaze also began to take an interest in the occult at this time. Just when the Simpson Cycle Show was about to hit the big time with a booking in Madison Square Garden, Crash Simpson learned that he was dying of an unnamed blood disease. Desperate to save his stepfather, Blaze consulted one of his books on the occult and performed an arcane ritual to summon up the devil, whom Blaze believed to be Satan but was actually Mephisto. The Lord of Demons agreed to save Simpson from his fatal disease in return for Blaze's soul. At Madison Square Garden, Crash Simpson performed the greatest stunt of his career, a cycle jump over 22 car widths, and crashed to his death. Blaze was stunned, believing that his stepfather was under the devil's protection. When Mephisto appeared to collect Blaze's soul, the demon explained he only promised to save Simpson from the disease, nothing more. However, before Mephisto could take Blaze's soul, Roxanne Simpson arrived and recited a spell of banishment she had read in one of Blaze's occult books. Mephisto was forced to flee without Blaze's soul, but had the opportunity to graft the essence of the demon Zarathos to Blaze's body. Zarathos had been totally stripped of his memories before being placed within Blaze, and thus Blaze was unaware of the separate consciousness of the being that dwelled within him. Rather, he originally believed that the demonic personality within him was a corrupt aspect of his own personality. At first, the demon manifested itself every nightfall, burning off Blaze's flesh with mystical flame to become a fiery skeletal wraith. Using his demonic hellfire to create a fiery motorcycle, the composite Zarathos Blaze entity became publicly known as the Ghost Rider. The relationship between the man and the demon was a precarious one, evolving as it endured. At first, Johnny Blaze dominated the Ghost Rider's personality. After a few months, Blaze's automatic transformations at nightfall ended. Blaze then became the Ghost Rider at any time of the day or night when the mystical presence of evil was in the vicinity. Later, Blaze was able to control his transformations as well as the actions of the demon when it predominated their form. It was during this phase of their relationship that the Ghost Rider became a member of the Champions of Los Angeles, a short-lived group of superhuman adventurers. See Champions. But the more Blaze transformed into the Ghost Rider, the stronger the demon became. Eventually, Zarathos began to reassert his personality over their composite form. Not only did it become more difficult for Blaze to keep the demon within from slaking its appetite for burning souls, it also became difficult keeping the demon from dominating their form constantly. Blaze no longer summoned the demon within him to help him accomplish his ends. Instead, he valiantly struggled to keep the demon from breaking free and wreaking havoc. The conflict between Blaze and Zarathos culminated in an unexpected way. Centurius, the Native American prince who was used by Mephisto to defeat Zarathos millennia before, had been wandering the earth in search of a soul to replace his own since the time he forfeited it to Mephisto. In his travels, he acquired a crystal of souls from ancient Egypt. Learning Zarathos walked the earth anew, Centurius was determined to get vengeance on the creature who had cost him his soul. Entrapping Johnny Blaze's soul within his crystal, Centurius battled Zarathos and soundly vanquished him. The Ghost Rider had not died, however, and, with the help of Roxanne Simpson, sought out Centurius. With the last bit of his dwindling strength, diminished because of his separation from Blaze's soul, Zarathos cracked open the Crystal of Souls, freeing its untold denizens, including Johnny Blaze, while entrapping Centurius within. The crystal then mystically resealed, robbing the Ghost Rider of the full measure of his vengeance. An associate of Centurius offered to send the Ghost Rider into the crystal after his nemesis, if he so desired. Motivated by retribution, Zarathos agreed. After Johnny Blaze relinquished control of their composite form to the demon, Blaze felt the essence of Zarathos being sucked out of his body and into the crystal. Therein Zarathos grapples eternally with his soulless foe, neither able to win over the other. Johnny Blaze had finally, permanently been freed from the curse of the demon within him. Height, 5 feet 10 inches. Weight, 180 pounds. Eyes, blue. Hair, red blonde. Powers. The Ghost Rider possessed a number of supernatural powers derived from his demonic half's mystical nature, as well as a number of skills derived from his human half's natural and acquired talents. The Ghost Rider controlled a mystical form of fire he called Hellfire that could be used to form quasi-solid objects. Utilizing Johnny Blaze's intimate knowledge of motorcycles, the Ghost Rider could recreate a perfect working replica of the vehicle composed entirely of Hellfire. This fiery motorcycle was not subject to certain natural laws, and thus could travel at great speeds, the limits of which were never discovered, although it was a match for any mechanical land conveyance, never needed refueling, and could defy gravity to limited extents by riding up walls. The Ghost Rider could create and destroy his flame cycle at will in a matter of seconds. He could also employ his hellfire to create walls of flame or balls of fire. Further, he could mystically alter his hellfire to burn coldly with an energy that could only be felt by the mortal soul. This soul-chilling effect had the capacity to destroy a soul if Johnny Blaze had not kept it psychically in check. Consequently, the cold hellfire would only seriously traumatize a person and leave him or her filled with abject fear. As a demon, the Ghost Rider's body was immune to most forms of conventional injury, including extremes in temperature and pressure, open flame, radiation, concussive forces such as impact and explosions, and certain projectiles. Ordinary bullets would deflect if they struck the mystically enhanced bones of his body. Otherwise, they would pass through him. The Ghost Rider possessed superhuman strength, able to lift, about 5 tons. Injuries or physical fatigue incurred by Johnny Blaze would not be passed along to Zarathos when he dominated their composite form, but would resume once Blaze regained control. The metamorphosis between one aspect and the other generally occurred in a matter of seconds. For Johnny Blaze, the transformation was a painful experience.